Today, our guest is our 1078th day of our Zoom uninterrupted daily webinar. Before starting our webinar, all of you welcome to our platform, and just let us have an 1 minute silent prayer. Today's our guest is Dr. Darrlyl D'Souza. Darrlyl D'Souza is an inspiration to millions across the globe due to his journey from 14 years of chronic illnesses to a state of perfect health within 1 year of using integrative natural medicine and therapeutics. And his resultant book became Healthy or Extinct, now read in most countries. He does disease reversal workshops across India and also created online platforms for doctors, healers, and therapists to work together. Darrlyl was the secretary of the World United Doctors and Healers Association for 5 years when he curated and convened their continued medico-spiritual education conferences. Darrlyl is also an industrial engineer, educator, organic farmer, environmentalist, TEDx speaker, founder of the Integrative Medicine and Health Committee of India, founder of Earth Keepers Connect, convener of the New Earth Summit on solutions to our problems in health, food, farming, and environment, and a speaker at the World Parliaments on Spirituality. He is an recipient of the ISHMA Award and the Rex Karmavir Chakra Award as well. His complete work is on www.darryldesouza.com. Today's subject, he had done a wonderful class last week, and now he is going to continue the second part, Solutions for Global Pandemics, part 2. So, Doctor, you are welcome for the platform, and for the next 45 minutes, you can engage your bombarding performance. After that, we will have a discussion. So you must be ready. We are very much happy to see you in this platform and your wonderful classes. You are welcome, sir. You are most welcome. You can start now.
Yes, thank you very much, Doctor. Good evening to everyone. I'm happy I'm on time today, and I've got a couple of presentations that I want to show you regarding today's topic. In fact, I will be switching. I will show part of one presentation, and then I'll move to another one, and then also show a web page. And so this first part, I in fact gave a 2-hour lecture at the Goa University 1 month back. And I will start with that topic of what was just announced. And I am now going to do okay. I need a screen sharing, and the host.
Yeah,
please.
You can do now. I made you co-host. Okay.
Okay. It says still says host disabled participant screen sharing. So I still seem to be a participant because I should have got that pop-up that you are now a host. I didn't get that. Okay, rest.
Yeah, you are now co-host.
It's come right now. Thank you.
Okay.
So yes, can this presentation be seen? The screen?
Okay, sir. Okay.
You can see the presentation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this was the topic, and I have been using integrative natural medicine since practicing and even teaching, because my first patient itself, I had to teach right in May of 2005. So since that time, I've been doing this. And you can see some components over here of what I found very effective. In last session, I did share that I suffered from illnesses for 14 years, starting with pneumonia, coughing blood, could not breathe, and almost died. Then after that, amoebiasis, then also uh, amoebic colitis, skin allergies, candida growth in my intestines, third-degree piles that went through surgery. And all of this time, I was working using mainly allopathy, which failed. Then I started with Ayurveda also, which did not help much. Unfortunately, that time homeopathy also did not really, cure my problems. And then, of course, I know it's about the practitioner also and the diagnosis capacity. It's not just the remedies. And then after that, I went into energy medicine. I became a Reiki practitioner myself. I used to do that healing twice a day for 1 hour 15 minutes, and it would not, take care of my skin allergies to such an extent that I couldn't wear clothes. And all of that, initially, it started getting reversed. Remission. I started going to remission with mainly three of these components that you can see on screen. The first main component that I say was acupressure, and the second is herbal detox, detoxifying the blood, and the third was my diet. So I would request the host to mute all other participants. There's some noise coming in the background. Thank you. So yes, so those were the aspects of integrative medicine I started with. And after 5 years of treating people, then I felt I had enough experience, and mainly it was reversing all types of chronic illnesses, whether it was high BP, cholesterol, diabetes, obesity, hormonal imbalance, all of that. And then in 2011, I wrote this book. The picture is on the top left-hand side, called Become Healthier Extinct. After that, once I published the book, since 2012, I started doing workshops in different cities in India, full day health workshops from 9 in the morning to 6 p.m. at night. Initially, it was a weekend workshop, Saturday and Sunday, but then most working people and all felt started complaining that we can't spend 2 whole days. So then I brought it down to a 1 day workshop, and of course the backup to that was you can read the book at home for more details. So continuing with this topic, this is what I presented at the Goya University. Because at the starting of COVID, you see, this was somewhere in May 2020, where it was such a big scare, and you could not even claim, alternative therapists could not even claim that they are, going to address this kind of virus and to give people cure. So I did a webinar at that time, which was attended by, it went over the capacity of my, Zoom. It was 102, 103, but the system was getting locked because more people could not come in. It was hosted by a person from Lebanon. So we had international people and people from India also. And that is the title. What you can see, that is the title of my video. It's still there. The recording is on my YouTube channel. And I just said, high immunity is the only thing that will save you now. So it was obvious to everybody, what they need to be saved from. So literally, I was saying high immunity. And even after 2-3 years, it's now that people are understanding that to fight anything, whether it's so-called virus or any kind of radiation or GMO food or chemtrails, environmental toxins, the first defense is always a good immune system. And I will quickly breeze through this because it will be there on recording also, I'm sure. So here the first part of my presentation was what are all the several things that are bringing down our immunity or rather engaging our immunity. So here on the second paragraph it says, so it is important to understand which daily choices destroy our immunity and which choices build immunity. People don't have, I've just said like that, even 25% of their immune system function available on a daily basis to maintain good health, high energy levels, and high immunity, because the immune systems are constantly engaged just managing the following bad choices. And some of the main choices, what I shared, were too much of processed foods with chemicals in them, preservatives, stabilizers, which are master chemicals that cut cross reactions. So literally we have atomic warfare happening in these, airtight tins. And when we open these tins, then they all become free elements and they start causing inflammation. So these are the degrees, right? You know that it starts with the last line you can see. The mildest degree is inflammation, then it goes to ulceration, then tumors, and finally cancers. This is what those chemicals do. They behave like free radicals, stealing electrons from our gut lining and our throat lining and all of that. So this was the first thing. Daily, if people are going to eat processed foods, then certain percentage of your immune system is going to be engaged to mitigate the damage from all of this. Second, I brought out is this: all the chemical things that we are using in our homes, whether it is detergent or it's a body shampoo, body soap, a deodorant, shaving cream, all of that. Constant toxins coming into the body. Again, 10% I've stated here. These are just round figures for people to give them an example. 10% of your immune system is engaged with all of this, mitigating the effect of this, taking it out through your urine, through your stools, through your skin. Then the third thing was this. If you read, I've said allopathic medicines for chronic illnesses, such as all the common ones, only manage the symptoms of these sicknesses, but they do not cure them. These medicines instead engage the immune system on a daily basis in fighting, the side effects of these medicines, which in the long term, most of you know, they cause liver weakness, stomach acidity, kidney failure, all of that. So this lecture was for the common people, to understand why is your immunity not working in your favor. So this is the third reason. Those people on constant allopathic medicines, their immune system is also fighting the negative effects of the allopathic medicines. Next was this new kind of life that we're having, which are permanent. When fields are permanent, they start competing and, impinging upon the permanent electrical systems of the human body, which people in India at least should understand. This is the entire chakra system, which is, which can be measured by instruments. In fact, since 10 years, since 2011, in my 1 week retreats, which was a complete mind, body, spirit retreat, I used to teach people how to see auras. Okay, in 1 to 3 days they would practice, and with the naked eye you can see at least 1 inch or 2 inch thick auras around people, different colors. So this is the third kind of too much of electromagnetic fields that are there in around us, which have been going from 1G to 2G, 3G, 4G, and now more harmful 5G, because the density is higher, the spacing between the poles is less. So we are having, this is also engaging. So constant impinging on the human body makes your food, engages your food and your organs and your endocrine glands to function, to make your chakras stronger than the, fields that are coming from outside to negate your energy. Now, there's a chapter in my book, Become Healthy or Extinct, which talks, the chapter is called Metaphysics of the Human Body. It explains something which which I have at least not found, nor even healers, therapists, senior people who have interacted with me in conferences. They have not found this detail in any other book on this planet. So it's very interesting for any of you to read it, because there I've explained what are the four components, what are the four functional components that make a chakra, and what are these energies and how they function, and what is their relationship between physical body, between the entire central nervous system, mind, and emotions. So I've explained the cycle over there, how physical illnesses can happen from energy dimensions and thoughts and radiation, and conversely, physical abuse for a long time, like we know, chewing pan, gutka, having too much of alcohol causing liver cirrhosis, how those organ sicknesses deplete the chakra energy, change the emotions, and also the outlook of people in their lives when it makes them sick. So then the fifth I presented on the stress. Yes, in current times, people are stressing about so many things going on. And the only, advice I gave was, uh, keep your mind and thoughts on things that are in your circle of influence, what you can change. There are big wars going on the planet, and if you're going to try and go to sleep every night in bed with that thought, you're not going to be able to transform that. But instead, you'll have, stress in your life. So these five main factors were talked about as engaging our immune system. So if we take care of them and take them out of our lives, we'll have 100% of our immunity working for us. And that is what can mitigate, whatever infections and all of the other things that are coming into our lives and making us sick. So I went further, which I will, not go into detail as it will take too much time. I want to just present some aspects of integrative medicine. So I went on further. This is in my book in the chapter on health and nutrition. I went on to give all these students not only diet but also practice. So first thing, a good morning starts with you having a dinner at latest by 8 p.m. Some people will have at 6 and 7, and that's even better than 8 p.m. So going bed early, not getting up in the morning with an alarm, matching circadian rhythms. Second, then I gave her an exercise which was for strengthening your chest and your lungs, lung function. So it is a combination of 10, 15 chest push-ups. Then after that, closing your eyes, sitting down, doing pranayam for about 20 strong breaths, full capacity of your lungs in and out, and then rolling an acupressure ball in your palms, especially on your lungs, thymus, and your digestive organs. So this is a perfect example of integrative medicine practice, especially for the pandemic times. Anybody with an existing cough and cold, if they do this within 5 to 6 days, their cough and cold and congestion will start going away. So the first chest push-ups is physical exercise. The next breathing is pranayam, which is coming from yoga, and the third is acupressure, which you all know originated actually in India. Then third was sun bath, bare feet walking. This is about the 5 elements, getting them into your body for energizing yourself. So pranayam already got you the air element. Then you have sun, which is getting the fire element. Standing bare feet on the ground gets you the earth element. Hydrating yourself with good enough water brings your, the water element. So there's another technique which I teach, sun yoga. In the last presentation, I shared with you that my 2-day migraine, when I was 12 years old, it was treated with homeopathy. It became 1 day. After 2 years, then I got fed up. And then later in life, when I started doing, change my diet, my acidity went down a bit. And I started doing acupressure to improve my gallbladder function, stomach function, and liver function. And with all those treatments, my 2-day migraine became 1-day migraine. But after following sun yoga technique, this is also in my book and also on my website, by looking directly at the sun, it opened up the energy channels through my chakras, and mainly those energy channels in acupressure, what we call the triple warmer system, which are meridian lines that flow on the through the entire spinal cord. Now, all of you must be knowing that the entire homeostasis of temperature control in the body is all a combination of heat coming in, then heat distribution, second step, and then third is heat radiation out. So all migraine people know that if the sun, they are looking at, bright light or sun, there's a lot of light energy, but they don't know it converts into heat. Now, for every normal person, it goes into the body. But for the person who's having migraine, there is blockage in the triple warmer system. And it is also a combination of other things that I shared earlier. Too much of acidic diet, which I changed and got a little better. Weakness in liver function, gallbladder function, and stomach function, that will also cause acidity relating to this migraines. That's also a component. And the third is this energy distribution system. So for the person who has migraine, the energy comes through the heat into the skin and through the eyes as sunlight. And that energy is supposed to be distributed along this entire spinal cord and evenly radiated throughout the skin. But this energy distribution doesn't happen in the spinal cord. And this is what the Sun Yoga opened up those channels. And in 30 days, I used to look at the sun every day, once in the morning for about half an hour. And but there's a technique to it. You have to start doing it gradually, which is the safest technique. I have studied the gurus in the world of Sun Yoga. My teacher was Sun Yoga Uma Shankar, Sun Yogi Uma Shankar, who lived only on sunlight for 10 years. And he's still there. He does workshops in different cities, but now he does have a little bit of food also because he doesn't, practice so much. And besides him, Prahlad Jani also, then Dr. Vinny Pinto in the US, and the one who was audited for over a year, Hira Ratan Manik, by about 25 doctors from across the world. And he proved that he did not have any food, maybe a little sip of water now and then. So amazing technique, energizing the body, but it opened up those channels of mine. And after those 30 days, I have not had a migraine since 2009. So, and I don't use dark glasses also when I go out now. So I'm just presenting, various components that are very useful and much more effective. Certain things are effective for something. So I'm talking about integrative medicine. Why do we need to, integrate modalities? I will give you some examples also later. And then as we went further into what other practices can people do, there's earthing, which is barefoot walking. Any of you who are interested in this, you can Google up the website, the Earthing Institute.com, I think it is, and you'll get a lot of information on this. This I was teaching in 2011 also, since the time of my book got released. And then we get into, the food aspect of it. This aspect of food, I've been like a scientist and given one of the best lectures in the world, I think, on science because on food, because nobody in the world till today has proven that those facts that I presented as anything wrong with it. In fact, it's an experiment that every human being does, and then they come to understand what is the actual food for human beings and also what is the hierarchy of foods. In that hierarchy of foods, fruits, seasonal fruits turn out to be the first basic food for every human being. And then there are later vegetables, nuts, beans, peas, and all of that. So this is the TEDx talk that I did in 2015. By now it is, this is an old snap. By now it's reached about 3 million views. And what it talks about, you can see the topic there, how I cured myself of chronic illnesses and reverse aged. So I guess many of you have seen my face just now live, and I look pretty young, but I am 53 years old. So there's a chapter on reverse aging in my book, right? And if you just try to understand the word Ayurveda, it means the science of a long life. And if you're healthy, you will have long life. And I've made some very radical claims, which I have also been proving through my own example in my book. For example, in the chapter on metaphysics, I have explained the different chakras at every year, how they mature. And from that, I have stated very clearly that the human body, the physical human body, is not supposed to age at all till you have crossed 50 years. And that is exactly what happened when I started doing all of these natural therapies. When I did acupressure, rejuvenated my organs. With acupressure, you can diagnose and find out which are the weak organs and heal them with acupressure also with diet, nutrition, and all that. With the herbal detoxes, I cleaned out my kidneys of all the toxins that I had from my, previously in my life, cleaned out my liver, gallbladder, intestines, colon. All of these sciences are there in my book. It's on the chapter called Cleanse Therapy. And all of these can be done at home with simple powders or leaves that you will get at your banya shop. So, so that is, what that topic was about. But I shared that one of the most important components of my transformation and rejuvenation was food. Switching from 4 times of having non-veg to becoming a complete vegetarian and then becoming a vegan. So, uh, so in this experiment, please go to my YouTube channel and you can look at this. It will explain these three things: what is real food for human beings, and the hierarchy of food as per natural law. I've talked about 4 natural laws over here, and this experiment that you can do yourself or do on your family members, it gives the same result on every human being. And I've said in this lecture that even if it was from the time of Adam and Eve or till for the next 10,000 years, as long as human beings are human beings, it will give the same result. So that result is shocking for many people. And in a TEDx, you get only 15 minutes to speak. So I could not elaborate further. But the full lecture on this is about 1 hour. And on this, the newearthsummit.com, you can see here in this website, if you go to 2021, you will see this presentation by me, the food masterclass. Okay, on this one, you'll get the entire science of food. And what science have I shared there regarding food is that the fact is that all species besides human beings. Now, why do I say all species? Because it's a very simple comparison. Look at all of the rest of the species on the planet. They are living a natural life and they are not having high BP, cholesterol, diabetes, and all of that. And we are the only people having that. Second statement, all of these animals, besides human beings, animals, plants, whatever, earthworm, eagle in the sky, they are all dying, mostly dying of old age. And if you, some of them, of course, are predators, so they get eaten up. Some monkeys will die earlier because they had some fracture when they fall from the tree or whatnot. But in normal circumstances, you will see them dying of old age. But any human being, even who's 104 years old, you go and do the autopsy of that body, you will find the cause of death as organ failure, some organ or the other. And when I was, editor of the CMSE magazine, when I was with the World United Doctors and Healers Association, I presented the facts of Chinese herbalist who lived to be 256 years old. And you must see the face of that person and the amount of, you can count 1,000 wrinkles on his face. And that is what natural aging looks like. Now, this man, he had 20 wives and he had 200 children. He was a martial artist. On the death of his, on his dying day, he did a martial arts class that very day. And he didn't die during the class. After the class, when he was resting or something, he died and he didn't get up the next day. So, this is what, I wanted to share about the reality that we are living in. And this food masterclass talks about that when in a natural environment, like you can eat natural food. For example, all the other species on this planet, they live in a natural environment and they eat all of their food, which is, as exists, as given by God, which is all raw food. There is no species on the planet besides human beings who cook their food. So that is the first fact. Second thing I explained in this talk is that when in a natural environment, you can have natural food. When in an altered environment, you have to have altered food if you have to remain healthy. So what is the altered environment that I'm talking about? The altered environment that I'm talking about is our natural living homes, where we are wearing footwear, so we don't get earthing, we don't get negative electrons from the earth to come inside our body and neutralize free radicals. We are not getting enough of direct sunlight. The water is not actual real water. It's not well water or stream water that has got a microbiome in it. We are drinking tap water chlorinated with no probiotic bacteria in there. Then we are living in artificial air conditioning, which changes the humidity and temperature of air, and causes dehydration also. If the RH is low, if it's certain kind of air conditioners, all the 5 elements, we get into imbalance of earth, water, fire, air, and even space. Space, I showed all the EMF and all. You'll not find them in the jungles and in other species. So I've explained in this, in the altered environment, most people cannot have 100% raw food. And so you have to have altered, you have to bring in earth element more because it's missing in the city life. And for that, that's where cooking comes in, to bring in more earth element. So I follow Ayurveda also at its deepest level in the balance of Kapha Pitta Vayu in the human body. And in this lecture, I explain that once you watch it, I will not give too much detail. When you watch it, you will hear my statement and explanation of that a kapha person, a predominant kapha person is the only person who can, be healthy with 100% raw diet. A pitta person, if they have more than 75% raw, they are going to get sick. And if a vayu person has more than 50% raw food, they are also going to get sick. So what is if people say we want to live a natural life and all, what is the future? So I've explained that many of the problems in this world, in the cities and this entire centralized control government system, banking system and all is, one of the main problems. And we need to have a decentralized system where we start going back to our villages. And that's the movement I'm in now, trying to, design and build eco villages across India. Because once you go back to the village, that's where I have left Mumbai in 2010 and come to my ancestral village in Goa. And I am, walking bare feet. I was able to drink well water also for some time, and I do all natural practices. So when we go back to nature, that's when we can go back to having more normal and natural food. So why am I talking about this natural life and nature? Because I'm coming to that part of integrative medicine, which is talking about preventive medicine. So I'll talk about that, in a few slides. So I'll end with this. It goes into a little bit of diet and all. This was my lecture at the Goa University. And herbal tea in the evening, not this, green tea. There are reports which are showing that, green tea after 2, 3 years continuous having, you are going to get sick from it. So alternating herbal teas, okay, is what is healthy for the human body. This I've seen over my 15 years of experience with patients. I use herbal teas as actual herbal remedies. So green smoothie, many of you know, for weight loss, detoxing. It's also part of reversing diabetes. Light dinner. Okay, now this is an important thing. One of the most harmful foods to the human body. A lot of this research is in my book from page 120 to 125. My book is a free download from my website. So it explains animals' milk as one of the most harmful foods on this planet. And a lot of hormonal imbalance to the degree that I am treating, young girls who are going to college in, for example, Goa, who are 17, 18, 19 years old, and their menstruation cycle stopped at somewhere near 16, 17. When I asked them when did it start, it started at the age of 13. And right from the start, painful menses. They had never experienced normal menses in their life. And a lot of this hormonal imbalance is coming from this milk and milk products. All the scientific information is given on those pages in my book, 120 to 125. And you can see the list over here of acidity, bronchitis, cough, cold, which will affect people who are having, these so-called COVID symptoms also. And recently at the Doctors Federation for the World, I presented two of my case studies. The first that happened in 2010. And then in between also it kept on happening, but I gave a later one also in 2020, yeah, of two couples who could not conceive even after 6 to 8 years of trying a lot, of trying both in vitro fertilization and artificial insemination also. And they still failed to get pregnant. And through my integrative medicine treatment, I got them, conceived in 3 months. So, it's a wide swing from try as much as you can, but it's impossible. And, I told them just wait, wait for 3, 4 months. Don't try to get pregnant. Let all your, your system get healed fully. But they got, pregnant earlier itself within 3 months. And they were saying, doctor, sorry, we didn't know how it happened. It just happened. So in this, the integrative medicine that was used was completely changing their diet and nutrition. Secondly is healing the weak organs from with acupressure, and then the third doing internal organ herbal cleanses. In both these cases, it turned out that both the women were having ovaries that were very deficient in energy, and their babies were automatically getting aborted in the second or third month. So first of all, it required to stop milk and milk products completely, which cause a hormonal imbalance. Then the second is how to reverse the damage. So with this kidney cleanse and with this colon cleanse and also with acupressure for the entire urogenital system, right, starting from the kidneys to the ureter to your urinary bladder to the vagina, uterus, and ovaries also, and also for the husband and for both of them. No using mobiles or laptops and all near your lower part of your body. Keep away EMF from that. And so this is the power of integrative medicine. When we find a certain problem and we put the right components together, miracles that are unbelievable in so-called modern medicine are happening. I know miracles happen in homeopathy also in very short time. So I'll give some comparative statement a little later. Uh, and well, this list goes on of don't have these harmful foods and all that. We know this: soft drinks, too much of fried food, harmful. And here are some more remedies for those people who are having cough, cold, flu. Very nice. Some of you may know of axe oil. It's got natural menthol, eucalyptus, and all of that. It's a very old remedy. Tulsi drops also. Punch tulsi, what is called the 5 medicinal varieties of tulsi. And some of the herbal cleanses from my book. Then, as many of us have been advising during COVID, many of these people have been deficient in certain minerals and vitamins, which is why the immunity goes down and they get flu. So that advice is also given. And then the more recent ivermectin and all of that. Of course, the homeopathy, remedies are also there, but I could not recommend since I'm not a qualified homeopath. So now I will come to one aspect of, show you a couple of slides in integrative medicine, which I presented, at this Rich Nation Summit on medicine. I'll just bring up that. And in 5 minutes, I'll conclude. So then we can have some, question answers. Yes. Is my slide visible? This one, integrative medicine. Is this slide visible? Hello, somebody there? Can the host please unmute and tell me whether you can see this slide?
Okay, doctor, can see.
Okay, thank you. So what I presented it is that, we are trying to do a fusion of certain beneficial aspects of allopathy, because they started asking me like, what you're saying, are you trying to say that allopathy is completely bad and all? So I said, no, we can use it for acute, illnesses and for diagnostics. So on the left side is these aspects of allopathy that are, can be used. Of course, in homeopathy also you have symptoms diagnosis and all of that. And in alternative therapy also, natural therapies also, there are symptoms of diagnosis. So the first part is diagnosing mind, body and spirit, is what we explained. And that is not happening in allopathy. Okay, so the diagnosis of body happens, and then the diagnosis of mind happens through psychological evaluation, but the diagnosis of spirit or the energy bodies and all that does not happen in allopathy. So that we have said that that's what we need to bring in from alternative medicine. And so in acupressure, there are physical systems of diagnosis also, like acupressure and pulse diagnosis, which we call Nadi Pariksha. Then there's psychological evaluation, and then energy scans by psychic people, by crystals, or the new quantum scanning machines, which is also called radionics. I've had worked with many psychic people, people who can literally see into a person's body and say there's a cancer within 20 seconds. So some people have that capacity, not everybody does. So first, I presented about diagnosis. Without how can you step into the next step of treatment when you have not diagnosed mind, body, and spirit first? Meaning you've not covered the being completely, and then after that diagnosis, we go into treatment. So this is the treatment part where we said, from allopathy or modern medicines, these are some components that are worthwhile using, and they are, of course, emergency medicine, life support systems, sometimes surgery, or in critical conditions where a person blood transfusion or saline is required if the person is fainting due to lack of nutrition. And then on the alternative side, we bring in the different treatments, whether it is physical or mental or energetic, like, for example, Reiki or pranic healing. Now, I know that many people say homeopathy is also in the realm of energy medicine. But I would also today, I would like to, ask all of you here, after making a statement about the pathway of healing in homeopathy, that I will come to later. And finally, we are saying, by merging both of these systems, that the benefit is that the modern systems, they from the modern systems, you get better evidence-based diagnostics, which is a little bit missing in the alternative stream. Then scientific documentation, world practices, GMP, and then it's used for emergency medicine. But the right-hand side benefits of natural medicine are preventive. Okay, so we know that if we did a good job, with entire humanity of what are the right habits to follow, and this is what I've tried to put in my book. What are the right, physical practices to follow? What is the right kind of diet and the right kind of lifestyle choices? If all of these things were done properly, we would not have any sick people on this planet, just like all other species on this planet. And that means if you don't have sick people, there would not be need for applying homeopathy, for applying acupressure, for applying any herbs, applying Ayurveda, right? So that is an important aspect which is missing in the world today. And such huge organizations like WHO, they are trying to wipe out, this kind of system, and they are happy as long as people fall sick. Yeah, we got business, and then let's vaccinate them, let's give them all sorts of treatment, because that makes money for pharma companies. So, well, the other benefits of the alternative systems are they are all curative healing sciences. They do not have side effects, and most of them are non-invasive. And this is what I presented. You will see homeopathy in this list. So in our integrative medicine, our centers, wherever people want to practice, they have the flexibility of choosing any of these systems. But the bottom line is that you must show that you are diagnosing in the first process, you are diagnosing for every patient, that you are diagnosing mind, body, and spirit. Because if you do one and you leave out two, those other two then keep bothering the person, because there are certain things that are not addressed. So sickness continues. But if you diagnose mind, body, and spirit, and then the next step is treat mind, body, and spirit, then you have a much shorter recovery time, less expense, less trauma for the patient, and a faster healing journey. So Ayush is represented here. In these 48 systems, Ayush is only 6 of these. You will see Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, Homeopathy, all of that. So radionics is also there, as you can see, what I call the quantum healing machines. So our effort is to use whatever possible at the lowest cost, with the fastest curative time, with the least trauma to the patient. I mean, all healers, all true healers, definitely should have that oath that I am trying to cure you with whatever capacity I have or skills I have learned, with the least expense, with the least trauma to you, and in the shortest time. So right now, some of you may have heard DIP diet, which was used by many people across India to cure their COVID systems by Dr. Bitswarup Roy Chowdhury. So our committee is evaluating this. Also, the recent hot water immersive therapy that he has shown, 40 degrees water in a tub, which is helping people reverse their dialysis. Zero volt therapy is nothing but the age-old earthing therapy, and a couple of other therapies. Dr. Susan Raj is one of the members of our national committee, and her wonderful therapy of a home. So these we are saying can happen at wellness centers. This is my own wellness center that I was running in Goa, over 4.5 acres. Had a big hall, and we used to do all of these. Every Sunday, we used to have one of these health programs. And we made it a place where organic farming was done, so people could have healthy food, meditation center, youth center, in the and movie center also. Because in movie centers, we were showing movies on health, movies on organic farming, movies on cleaning up the water, soil, building natural homes. So this is all part of the healing environment that human beings live in. And last slide, I would just like to end with this. We were showing from the centralized medicine system to the decentralized medicine system. Okay, the negatives of this system: too congested, overburdened by patients, lack of healthcare education, not much of preventive medicine, too much stress and pollution and expense, disease management and not disease reversal, and feeding big pharma and the vaccine mafia. But when we take health to the people, this is the decentralized system of medicine. We are taking health to the villages and to towns across India, and having more space and more relaxed environment where healthy space affords better air, better water, no congestion or stress or pollution, comparatively lesser, healthcare education and disease reversal. Then organic air, water, food, biodiversity, natural parks for your, more oxygen and exercise. And most of all, it feeds your local economy and makes, local people and businesses more prosperous. So I will end over here. So that has been overall our movement when we are going from a centralized system to a decentralized system, and with integrative medicine. Now, I would like to, put a question to our homeopaths over here today. I have, for example, I gave an instance of in the last time where hair fall stopped with a certain homeopathic remedy, which I don't remember the name, in 36 hours. So I have seen homeopathy work in as soon as 36 hours. Of course, I know there are certain remedies for pain and all that that may take a lesser time. But I've seen homeopathy not work for even for 2 years, like in my case, and many cases. I've seen hundreds of cases where. And overall, I just think my general perception is that, homeopathy works half of the time, doesn't work half of the time. I know it's a combination of the doctor's skill, of the patient's constitution, and all of that. And my question comes to all of you today. As we know, in the world, in UK, they are trying to ban homeopathy. My question is, on what basis? Are they trying to say there is no evidence? Now, if it's such a big organization like you all, I know in India, there's a case in Supreme Court where it is being fought. So anybody would like to, enlighten me upon this main reason? What is their fundamental basis for trying to say that the system of homeopathy should not be practiced or it's not effective?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now let us have our discussion part. Dr. Ramadevi Madam is want to ask you something.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, ma'am. Can hear you.
Good evening. Good evening. I have 3 questions. One is, you told about one martial arts man.
Yes.
Due to net problem, I was not able to hear it fully. Second
Okay.
thing is, I want to get the book from the cost of that book, as well as from where will I get it. Then next, third thing is, if we are 3 times I had come to Goa, and
Yes.
if we are coming to Goa next time, can we see you in person, and can I attend your health program? 3 questions are there.
Yes, if I'm doing a health program, then of course everybody is welcome to it at that time. And definitely I'll be happy to meet anybody or a group of people who will come to Goa. Let me know in advance. So my book is a free download. My main website is, like mentioned earlier, darryldisouza.com. On that main page, one long page, my different websites are there. So on that, Become Healthy or Extinct is one website. If you click on that, it opens to that website, and the first page is showing a picture of my book, and it gives instructions how to download my book. So PDF you can download. Okay, so that book is free for everybody in the world. You can download it to your PC. And I've been trying to put, since the last whole year, I've been too busy with all of this COVID and integrative medicine and organic farming, so I got 5 additional chapters which I want to put in the book. So since 1 year, that book is out of stock and I've not done a print. So physical prints are not available. But I have told everybody across the world, if you really need a physical copy, please download the PDF and go to your Xerox guy and print it out. I have not kept certain thing that it cannot, it's copyrighted, or a certain person cannot print it without my permission. So you can have a printed copy also. I know people like to print there rather than read from the PC. And the name of that Chinese gentleman, it doesn't come to my mind right now. I will, yes. As I'm talking, answering, I just remember on my PC, I've stored that article. I will open it up. It's in my folder called Reverse Aging. Okay, so in 1-2 minutes, when I'm answering somebody else's questions, I will just bring up that. Okay, yes.
Now, Dr. Prasad Kumar.
Yes, Dr. Prasad Kumar.
Prasad Kumar.
Yes, Prabhat.
Sir, you can just a minute. Unmute, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
please unmute.
Thank you, Dr. D'Souza.
Yes,
Very
you're
nice
welcome.
presentation, what has touched my heart. Actually,
Yes.
integrity of the medicine is the future of medical science.
Right.
All the systems have some good things and all the systems have some bad things. The 5 points what you started with, very nicely explained by you. Just one thing I like to add. No uniformity can be given for a given case. A totally individualistic approach should be there. Animal milk should be avoided by everyone. It may not be correct. Some may tolerate human milk, animal milk. Some may tolerate nuts milk. So these all things, I am not, because time is very low, I am not going in detail, but just all the body, mind and spirit, this is right from the beginning Hahnemann started. And the medicatrix naturae, what you started with, it is a very nice point what Hahnemann also stated very earlier. So Hahnemann, whatever has given, with the touch of individualization, it will be more helpful for the integrity of the science. Thank you this much, because time is very lost.
Yes, very correct. I agree with you that, every individual's constitution and where they are with their illness and their entire history is very individualistic. So all these principles can be used, but the application has to always be very specific as for the person. I agree with you completely. And regarding milk and milk products, please read page 120 to 125 of my book. You will see things and hear, understand sciences which you have not come across earlier. There are very deep facts about that. So I have reversed people just on, by stopping milk and milk products. They have seen reversal in their illnesses within a week's time. So I'm speaking from 15 years of doing all of this work. So I would urge you to please read those pages in my book. Also read the book by naturopath Dr. N.K. Sharma. He lives in Delhi. He's very famous. His book is Milk, the Silent Killer. So that also gives a lot of facts. Now for ma'am, I will just bring up that the very CMSC edition, which I said, that article that I printed when I was the editor. This is that magazine, Continued Medico-Spiritual Education by the World United, when I was there. And here in this here somewhere that chapter is there. 1 second. Yeah, here it is. So this is that article. The name of the man, as you can see here, is Li Ching Yuan. Okay. Here now, how they knew the facts? Because this man, he was drafted in the Chinese army. He was fighting, and he was there in both the world wars. It seems. Finally, he died in somewhere much later. So the army has recorded all his his existence and his service and all of that. So 256-year-old Chinese herbalist. Okay, 23 vials. Sorry, I said only 20. Okay, so these are the facts. So when you go to Google, there is a video also on him. Just remember this word, Li Ching Yuan. So you will get his detail from there. And now I would like to zoom in what I was saying. Now you will see the face of a person. Now you will really understand what is aging. When you see the number, this is the earlier snap on his. I have a later snap with a lot of wrinkles on his face. So that's what I was saying is, the actual sign of aging. Human beings are dying, whether they're 110 years also, they are still dying of internal organ failure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Yes, any other questions? Please go ahead.
Yeah. I want to ask you one question, sir.
Yes.
You are saying about the long life.
Yes.
It is in the Bible. It says that there will be no weeping there, no calling for help. Babies will no longer die in infancy, and all people will live out their lifespan. Those who live to be 100 will be considered young. To die before that would be a sign of that I had punished them. People will build, this here says that in living in 100 years, if
Yes.
he dies in 100 years, it will be considered as a childbirth.
Yes,
So
child. Very correct.
what is your comment about it?
Yes. So now, with so much of, toxins, even I have written in my book that I will live to be 150 years following all these practices. Okay. And I estimate that I'll be just looking like this, like I'm looking today, even at the age of 60, which is just 7 years from now. Now, my case, I know there are people who look almost, who are like me, 53 and all, they look similar, but you have to see the case history of that person. Did they go through so much sickness and suffering? Did they, a digestive tract was destroyed so much that at the age of 32, they had to have third-degree piles, surgery, and they had skin inflammation. So I've seen some comparative people. Many of them have not fallen so sick. So their genes and original, constitution is very strong. And so what I'm saying is, in this age and time, where there is toxicity in our water, in our air, and all of that, if people follow these practices, what is written in my book and what is there in homeopathy, and whenever it's required, I think with good health practices, people can live now to, even in this age, to be 100 and 10, 115, 120. In fact,
Thank you,
one of
sir.
the Indian yogis who could stand on his head, he's still 126 years old. Now, if time permits, in the same folder, I have a
Now
video.
the time is over, sir.
Yeah. I have a video of a black man. Yeah.
So, Dr. Prabhat Kumar, sir, please say vote of thanks.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. D'Souza.
Yes, you're
You
welcome.
have-
I would just like to say that I am not a medical doctor, because though people address me as doctor and all, I go more as a healer and a therapist and a integrative medicine practitioner. We are all students, and the learning process never ends. So that has been my journey and will continue to be my journey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your excellent presentation.
Thank
I will be happy to hear you in near future, because integrated medicine is going to be our future.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Now this is our concluding our session. So now I call Dr. Danish to start our Malayalam. Mr. Sir.